Try to do this. There is no guarantee. Try to get through this, even with just a shell of me. I will try to do this. There is no guarantee. I will make it through this, even if it's only me. It's late in the afternoon now. It's got to be like, I don't know, 3, 4, something late. It's about 3:20, and from about, I'll say a little bit after 9:30 to now, I just allowed myself to get into my feelings. Just a barrage of all the things that, over the past 10 years that I've gone through, or that I felt, and that because the situation was just back to back to back to back to back, that I didn't have really time to address it. The only thing I could do was pace some courage in my heart, a smile on my face, and just keep one foot going in front of the other. But it's just like when you go through things like that, and I'm talking about the legal thing. For you, those of you that don't know, I had a situation, and it's difficult to talk about. It's something that you personally, internally, as well as externally, will never be able to put behind you, because there's no way, and this is the main point of it all, there's no way for them to ever be able to take it back. There is no, there's no way, even if, and it's been 10 years, but even if somebody wanted to at this point, it's no way to take it back. I mean, there were so many opportunities for somebody to step up and say something. Nobody said a word, except that they knew that, what happened was wrong. And it's like they saw it and they knew it and had nothing to say. And all the different, I'm going to go through, and it's just, if you look at my board, like I said, I'm starting to do this, just from all this to this. I had to stop there with just the things, all the negative things that came back, all of the things that I suffered as a result of this. And this is not the real things. These are just the things that I remembered that were fresh, that were traumatic to me. And it's like, it doesn't even scratch the surface, and the bottom line of it is, and I should have posted it as soon as I felt it, but I didn't, because that's how deep the wound was. The thought was, even if I were to go and try to go and get everything, it was appealed, and, they quote unquote fixed it. But even if I were to go back and try to, put everything right and put everything in its place, there's no form of, every single person that was in that courtroom, every single person that had something to do with it directly or indirectly, that didn't open their mouth, didn't speak up, were not outraged, did not try to stand, every single person, every single job that I ever went to as a result of that, and had them use that to manipulate me, every single one. Every single job after, the fact that, they try to use it as an excuse to bully and things like that. I mean, I didn't have a voice, and I still don't. Once you have something like that happen, you don't have a voice. It's like, once something like that happens, it's just like a condoned, it's like, almost mass insanity. It's like everybody thinks it's okay for you to do whatever you want, say whatever you want to those people. You've really been disenfranchised, and not anything official on paper, but just by the ostracism in society and the feeling of entitlement that people get in regards to dealing with you. Now, and it's nothing that they could ever do. And, I'm not getting sealed and this, that, and the other, and I never will, because it's their wrong. They did something wrong. They should pay for it. And I feel like and that's the thing, is nothing that could ever be done for them to be able to pay for that. There's no way. You could lock up every single judge, jury member, court member, staff member. We already know the police are crooked. Just you could do that. You really could, and it still would not pay. And that's just for me, for little old me. This is one person that they wronged. It would never ever pay for that. Never. Because not only did you hurt me, you hurt all of the potential people that, had I not been affected the way that I've been affected, you hurt all of the potential people that could have maybe benefited from having a good person around, because you pulled that person out of society, whether it's through, institutional paper, or whether it's through putting a person in a situation where they can't come up to breathe, and it's just atrocious. And that's just for me. And my situation is not the most horrendous of situations that's out there, I think mine is exacerbated or a little more painful to me because there is no, outside support system. But think about people that have had that happen to them and they've spent their whole lives put away somewhere and being raped, abused and everything else. Think about that. For me, I didn't have that, but I think when the system does that to people, it murders them. The system, in effect, has murdered that person. That person will never be the same. Never. Never, ever be the same. And the thing that's scariest the most about it, I think, is that you've stolen, it's like, it's equivalent, they stolen your innocence and then they murdered you and then they raped you, and it's just like, that's exactly the effect that it has on your being, your person. And absolutely no apologies. And just, absolutely awful. And it's nothing, it's nothing. Like I said, there's nothing that could ever be done to fix that. It doesn't matter, even if there was, and there won't be, because I don't think ever in my life I've ever been, apologized to in a moment that counted. That it would never, even if there was a written apology from the system itself, because there was no excuse for that. And they don't care, and they're not going to. And they're going to continue doing exactly, the way that they've been doing it. And so when you walk around and you see these people in the ghetto, in the hoods, you see these people collecting benefits, welfare, legally determined to be homeless, and all this other crap that goes with the disenfranchisement of people in general. I need you to understand that it is manufactured to be that way. And I think what happens is when they do this to people, like I said, it is a murder of sorts. You've murdered their spirit, their being. And then what you have left is pretty much a zombie, a shell of a person. You have a shell of a person left with some vestiges of life. And then those that, are not able to make it on their own, they take and they reinstitutionalize in a different way. And they use them as human lab rats for whatever, social engineering, psychological engineering. And it's really, and I think about this sometimes, like when you see people that say, and I've heard people say this before, ghetto people, I don't give a F, what it says to me really is just like Tupac used to say, nothing to lose. It's like what they're saying is that they don't have anything in their life. They have no hope left. They don't have any hope or value in their life where they feel like they should give a hoot, to say it nicely, that they should care, because they're, the way they behave is a result of the way they were treated. And, I'm a kind of a persistent, I'm like on the edge. There's a circle. I'm observing like right on the edge of the circle, but I'm part of the circle too, because I've experienced firsthand, what this is. For those of you, again, you have to be in my previous channel to understand, this is about the legal thing. And I really, was trying to move on from it, but it's something that does need to be stayed with. I said, well, what made me decided that I was going to try to move on from it was that um, the feeling that I got after all said and done was like they forgot all about me. You know what I'm saying? The system just kind of ran me through the ringer, threw me out, and forgot all about me. And I was just a tinkling in the wind, you know? And it's just like I said, well, maybe I just need to rebuild myself, you know? But the thing is that, it's horrifying to see, in the news and, in society in general. You don't even have to watch the news to see it, but to see the things that go on and see how people interact and behave. If you've ever been through that situation where you've been disenfranchised as a human being, um, it's made very obvious. And it's painful to watch, but I'm just sharing with you, some of my day today. And, like I said, if I went through the list of things that I remembered, and maybe, and I wasn't trying to remember, they just popped up, you know. So I think I'm going to start doing a series on that. Maybe I'll start it on this channel. My issue is that I, have to be able to meet people that go through the same. I don't know if I'm up to going out and actively interviewing people. Not right now because of the way I feel about myself. You know what I'm saying? So, but it'll get there. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks.